The Dauntless. There is further movement in the streets. He's shaken the cages and now he gets to observe. Things were very static when he arrived, and now he has caused enough chaos and sowed enough suspicion to see exactly what paths these insects follow. Now he will learn where to place the bait, which way they dance and how they dance. Certainly there are important factions and definite predictable patterns to all criminal life. Yet more can be told by something like this. He can see who the real movers and shakers are. Much can be told about an organization. Different bosses will cause different things to happen. An overt, obvious leader will have very obvious, blatant, and frankly clumsy interactions. But one with a hidden power. There will be a sudden hesitation. There will be a rule or an objective that isn't openly stated. Paranoid bosses will be defensive-focused, manic and power-obsessed. Ones will have their forces chasing shadows and putting on a gigantic show respectively. Profit-oriented ones will take this confusion and chaos as a time to either press at the borders to see if they can swipe more customers or lock down a profitable area to keep what they have. There are others, including a few signs if there's an upcoming coup or betrayal. All of them must be watched for, and all of them can be told in the movements of the smaller, and there is movement out of place. Or rather, there is movement in a manner in which he is required by contract to interfere with. Damn it. He checks the area around him, and just vaguely leaning out of the shadows is a figure. Small, but highly armed. There's no indication which one it is. Until they move, they're all identical. Fine. He vanishes, seizing control of the very foundational forces of the galaxy. The debate to the true source of Axiom raged in academic circles, but none could deny its truth. Axiom is power. Power so close to divine that even in this day of supposed reason and enlightenment religion still sang its siren song of obvious easy answers, a comforting lie. He reappears on the rooftop. He can feel the whisper as he's followed through the teleport. He stands atop an enormous storage building. It was a lower tier to a larger complex that attached directly to one of the gigantic support pillars that held up the upper tiers of Venspire. A woman. Not unexpected. But that she's carrying a small child. A child too small to have developed any sexual characteristics. A suspicion forms in his mind. Yes, this is precisely what his good masters consider something to interfere with. It's not like he has the option to refuse with eyes burning their way into his frame. He shifts to a lower level, his axiom control tight and comparatively surreptitious to the common use. As he expected the pursuers of the woman and her child charge around the corner, he does not interfere yet. From what he can tell of their personal tattoos and choice of clothing, they're still chasing this woman well outside their territory and are not leading her back to it, meaning that they're planning to hound her into cornering herself. A crudely effective plan, more efficient to simply know where your target is going and to simply arrive after they've let their guard down in order to take advantage of their laxness. Everyone relaxes eventually, and that's usually the best time to dispose of them. Still, the scene is from a predictable bit of schlock that the masses consume with their naivety. Poor abused woman desperately escaping the dastardly criminals with her precious bundle in her arms. He has to resist spitting in derision at that thought, followed by the horrific villains and with himself forced to play the part of a hero. That would actually make a film more interesting, wouldn't it? A bit of realism into the media. Don't show some tragic hero with a dark past showing regret. Show them forced at gunpoint to clean up their act or eat a plasma burst to the cranium. He muses that the pithy saying does have some truth to it. He would very much watch some material about a man like himself, intelligent and trapped by outside forces into positions he despises, be it from criminals pushing down or supposedly righteous militaries forcing their will. Either way, he is trapped. The wail of despair as the woman finds herself trapped nearly makes him roll his eyes. "No! No more! Not my son! Please, not my son!" the running woman pleads. "Everyone pays their part, you idiot. It's nothing personal, but it is the Regina rules. Boys go into the brothel. And hey, you shouldn't be panicking. It's a better life for the kid than you could provide." One of the pursuers says in a low voice that she no doubt finds intimidating, but to him she just sounds like she's trying to cover up some stomach cramp or indigestion. "Well, he'll be all right. He's got value. You though, you tried to steal from the boss. There's only one answer to that." The second pursuer hisses out. She has a raspier, more unpleasant voice, one that makes him think she doesn't properly chew her food. He says nothing as he rounds the corner himself. He stops hiding his steps, and as his hoof comes down upon the concrete, the sound echoes, and everyone turns to regard him. He visibly banishes his jacket into a folded dimension upon his belt buckle and proceeds to roll up his dress sleeves. "Oh? Well, hello, pretty boy. What are you doing around?" The raspy girl, who's now revealed herself to be the smaller and more tattooed of the two Horchka thugs, hisses at him as she clearly likes what she sees. He doesn't bother to hide the snarl on his face. "Oh? Little man thinks he's hard. How cute. We'll have you broken in Regina's stables good and proper." The deeper-voiced and larger-statured Horchka begins before he rushes them both. They're on guard and immediately reinforce their muscles for a physical assault, which is why the paralyzing punch of the electrical sheath he's covered his hands in hits so very, very hard. Neither woman can so much as scream as they collapse. An extra twist of axiom knocks them both out even as they hit the ground. He sniffs derisively and regrets it instantly. One of the women lets something loose when he hit them with electrical energy, and he does not care which one, or if it's merely gas or a complete voiding of the bowels. The young mother stares at him in shock and seeming awe as he approaches, his hoofs clomping rhythmically. Above her, on the roof of the building that cut her off, is the Silent, observing him from behind a gray visor, judging him. The little shit. Well, fine. If the little assassin wants a show of mercy, he'll get a show of mercy, just not one he was expecting. "Ma'am, it's not safe here," he says as he approaches her, and she outright gasps as she gawks up at him. Who are you?" "I am Professor Moriarty. I have business in these parts. Do you have the means to depart level 8? He introduces himself, adding a question of his own. No. I don't have the money, or the ways out are all watched. I can't, my son, my poor baby boy. "I understand. Silent, come down here," he commands, and the tiny figure does not hesitate before dropping out of the sky to land next to the woman. She gasps at the movement and backs away. This woman needs to be evacuated from this area. I believe it goes without saying that civilians such as her caught in this mess are unacceptable. They want him to play benevolent? Fine. But he's taking the credit and making them do the work. The Silent nods before holding out his hand to the woman. He will take you to safety. There are people there that will help you. You and your son. But my things. She offers up a weak protest, and he buries the disgust. She's being handed everything she truly needs on a plate and is still hesitating. This is why he hates normal people. Nothing is ever good enough for them. More, and they do nothing to earn or take it. They just expect it. He may be a crook, but at least he puts in the damn effort to get what he wants. They can be retrieved, madam, but first you must get to safety. Take the hand of the Silent, he will bring you both to a better place. Moriarty insists, and she stares at him for a moment as tears begin to well up in her eyes. "Thank you," she whispers before she takes the offered hand. Then both the woman and child are gone. There are no other witnesses, and his handler is gone, which means he now has as few minutes to himself. The unconscious Horchka aren't killed. That's sloppy. but they are missing a few smaller denomination coins and some data chits. It will take some work, but if he can find the gaps in the attention on him, he may be able to throw off the leash entirely. No weapons, though. Such things will be looked for, but extra coins and data chits can be hidden in plain sight. Just because a prison sentence is short doesn't mean it should be enjoyed or that you shouldn't at least brainstorm an escape. Thank the freaking stars for galactic trade. Squad Sergeant Davies starts the cadence as they jog around the Dauntless. Thank the freaking stars for galactic trade. The rest of the squad follows his direction as they keep pace. Otherwise, no one would know what to say, he continues with the made-up song. He had to lead the cadence? Good grief. Otherwise, no one would know what to say. From the clicks to the whistles, to the beeps, to the growls. From the clicks to the whistles, to the beeps, to the growls. There's just too many sounds from our mouths and bowels. He sings out and is thankful he's in the lead as he knows they can't see how hard he's trying not to laugh. The cadence ends there as the quick bit of toilet humor catches most of the group off guard, and the ones who aren't laughing at the joke are caught up in the laughter of the others instead. "Sergeant Davies, front and center!" a voice calls out and he freezes. He's quickly in front of the drill instructor. "The hell kind of cadence was that?" "Testing the resolve and will of my squad, sir," Squad Sergeant Davies answers, and there's a pause. "I see. Well then, let's see what kind of resolve you all have in the next situation with another lap. Move it, move it, move it." The drill instructor bellows out and they all get to running again. "Smooth move, Sergeant." One of the recruits grumbles. He was going to give us another lap no matter what, at least we earned it with a bit of fun instead. The morning exercises are getting easier and easier. Training is shifting and going into differing fields all over the place. He spends hours at a guard post and even catches a few cloaken trying to sneak on board. Apparently both the would-be spies and the men have made an outright game of it. The girls try to sneak on, get manhandled and thrown hard. The girls use cushioning effects and then come back for more later. Apparently some of the more forward women used the time they were being hurled as a chance to flirt, and a couple were even making progress. It was a strange system that was only still spinning under the momentum of its own absurdity. He actually gets called up when an Earthani in the midst of a panic attack is attempting to escape, and he ends up talking down the woman. His trill speech isn't the very best, but it's functional and more than capable of holding a conversation. It's not until during his couple of hours of free time that the day really starts to stand out. A couple of bruisers are leaning over a young Kobe woman, and a few taps of his claw and a threatening wave of his tail are enough to give the small woman time to easily escape. He gets a lot of snarls for that, but unless halitosis is somehow contagious, there's no real danger. Still, he didn't even have to snap threateningly to get them to back down. A stern gaze is a lot more than a lot of people are willing to deal with. There is a sensation of being watched, and he glances around. Beyond the basic and ubiquitous security cameras and omnipresent crowds on a world like Centris, there's nothing that stands out, nothing that really piques his attention. So he puts it out of his mind. The silent will remember that.